Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm on another little walk. Short walk today. I'm looking for something driven by wind. I'm in Rottingdean, down on the south coast of England in East Sussex. Behind me is Brighton. That's Brighton, it's very small, you probably can't see it. This way is the sea, the English Channel, and it's a delightful colour, I can tell you. I'm actually standing on the edge of a cliff. If I go that way a little bit, I'm going to drop off. I don't want to drop off, so I'm not going to go that far. In truth, I'm actually standing on a bench that's on the edge of a cliff. I'm close between Brighton that way and Eastbourne that way, and the thing that I'm looking for today is a little piece of heritage here. It's iconic. If you drive on the A259, the coastal road, you'll see it. It's actually behind me, but just going to go a little to the edge. I don't know how much of this you can see. Let's just drop the camera down a fraction. Yeah, there's cliffs there, look. If I come around here, you can probably just make out the white of the cliffs. Anyway, that's not what I'm looking for. But I just wanted to show you that because I intend to come back and explore this coastline and all along the cliffs. Behind me, I'll give you a clue. Here, hang on. Where's the best place to get up? This is a little bit awkward. Here we go. Behind me, there it is. It's a windmill. I've been to a windmill before, and the last one I went to, the Haneker, was under construction. This one, however, is it's not under construction exactly, and it's not a working mill anymore, of course. Very few working mills, but it has been restored. So let's go. I've got to cross this very extremely busy road. Let's go and explore it. You do somewhat put your life in your hands when you cross the busy road here. Now, I haven't actually been to this windmill before, so I'm hoping that we can get access. There does seem to be. If I can work the gate, which wasn't the most easiest thing. And here it is. I've seen this many times as I've driven past. I've never actually bothered to stop and go and have a look at it. It's a smock mill. It's called the Beacon Mill, or the New Mill, or if you like, just Rottingdean's windmill. Now, there's been a windmill, they reckon, on the site of here for hundreds of years. There was a post mill before this one. It does look rather resplendent standing here on its isolated hilltop on the headland, and a perfect place for a mill because you would get a lot of wind coming off the sea. It's a 3-storey stock mill, 3 stories up. Interesting, the grain, it would have mostly have been a corn mill to make flour, would have been winched up to the top, put into hoppers, and there it would have been placed, as I say, into a hopper which would have funneled down towards the millstones. Quite an awe-inspiring building. It's on a brick base. You can't really see that now, it's rendered with something. But when they were digging the foundations, now I read this morning and I'm not quite sure what they mean when they were digging the foundations, whether that was when they were digging the foundations to restore it or when they were actually building this one in place of the old post mill. But apparently the remains of a human being was found. I don't know how old that human being was, whether that was just a burial thing or whether there's something a little bit more macabre involved. That would certainly be interesting. The original miller in 1802, when it was constructed, was one Thomas Beard, and I can almost imagine him as a sort of stocky sort of chap, perhaps all in white, and maybe he had a beard. It probably was white. It only lasted 79 years. In 1881, it was reported to be in such a bad state that it was thought that it was going to have to be demolished. But the Marquis of Abergavenny seemed to be a generous character, because he paid for the renovation, and in 1920. But 15 years later, it still needed further repair, and it's had repair over the years, right up until 1979, I think. And then, more or less, it's sort of remained a bit like this. As I say, they open it up on, I think it's the second Sunday of the month, on Mills Sunday. And you can go inside and you can have a look at the workings. I don't think it actually does any work. The interesting thing, being a smock mill, it works differently to a post mill. A post mill has a central post which the whole windmill revolves around on its axis. It revolves because of the wind. It wants to point into the wind so that the sails turn and make the most. And of course the wind doesn't always come from the sea. So that's how a post mill works. But a smock mill works differently. On the very top it has what's known as a Kentish style cap. And at the back of this, it's not here on this one, there would have been fan tiles, fan sails. And you would have had slats in these patent foresails here. These patent sails, the slats would have caught the wind and turned. They don't have them in now because obviously they don't want the thing to turn. It's probably got some gearing mechanism or brake to stop it from turning. But amazing thing. So that just the top bit would revolve into the wind as required. I don't know how much control the miller would have had over that. I guess they would have had a certain amount of control, because the thing about windmills is the wind, as we know, is not something you can work out. You can't sort of plan for it. So when the wind is there, you just have to take advantage of it. So if it's windy, it means working all through the night. That's what you do. If you've got the corn to mill, away you go. It's great to imagine the truck, the little wagon coming up with the sacks of corn, either from the farmer or the merchant or whoever owns the corn, and then bringing it up here and then having it winched up to the top. I guess there's a trapdoor, or would have been, so it could be fed into the hoppers, and away you go. There's a whole load of history about it here. A curious incident was reported in the Sussex Weekly Advertiser on the 7th of June. On digging the foundations, workmen uncovered the remains of an ancient warrior and sword. So there we go, that's answered that question. When they returned after the break, the items had gone and were never seen again. How curious. Well, I hope to visit more of our wonderful heritage. I hope you've enjoyed my little visit, and that you'll join me again. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell notification, and you'll be emailed every time I upload a video. Share the video if you like it with your friends or on a Facebook group, that would be lovely. And give me a thumbs up. So from Rottingdean's wonderful Beacon Hill Mill, I bid you farewell. Now I'm going to just sort of find my way back to sunny Worthing, where I live, through the tedious roads of Brighton. Until the next time, bye for now.